What is up, YouTube? My name is Shabazz Dre. In this series, Try Harder, I'll be preparing myself for the OSCP, which is Offensive Securities and Entry-Level Penetration Testing Course and Exam. In this series, I'll be using TJ Null's Hack-the-Box list of OSCP-like machines by remixing them and showcasing them here on my channel using my own personal methodology. Once I feel like I'm ready, I'll purchase the labs and go into my cave where I'll be studying for months until the exam day. So, getting straight to the point, the first video in the series will be a retired machine named Lame, which is an easy box on Hack the Box. It is retired, which means walkthroughs can be done for it and for the other retired ones that I will be doing without getting into trouble with HTB. I will try to do these machines Metasploit free in order to learn how to manually exploit machines to the best of my abilities. I hope this series brings you value, and if you want me to create more, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And now let's jump straight into it. So, just an introduction to the machine Lame. Lame is a beginner level machine requiring only one exploit to obtain root access. It was the first machine published on HTB and was often the first machine for new users prior to its retirement. The skills we'll be learning today is identifying vulnerable services, and we will be exploiting a service known as Samba. Samba being an important component that seamlessly integrates Linux, Unix servers and desktops into Active Directory environments. It functions both as domain controller or regular domain member. So the skills required to break into this machine will be basic knowledge of Linux. You'll have to know basic knowledge of Linux and be able to enumerate ports and services. So just getting straight into it, we will connect to our VPN. So I have my folder set up on my desktop. So I have a HTB and then the folder VPN. Here I have my VPN connections for two different services, and then for this one I'm going to be using the Dre.o VPN, which is access to the HTB servers for all the retired and active machines. So how I would do this is I would be sudo open VPN, VPN, and then boom. Once that happens, what this is doing right now is initiating a sequence to connect to the Hack the Box servers. Once it's connected, what happens here is it creates a tunnel of VPN to the servers at HTB, and now I'll be able to access all the machines boxes that are hosted on their servers. So now to check if it works or not, we will ping the server we have, and we see we get a response from the server. So pinging is always a good way to try and see if the server is live or not without compromising yourself. So just to let you know, so sometimes you might be having issues, you might not be able to scan the server. Just always ping prior to doing anything, whether it be a live pen test or just doing a machine. You now might be wondering, what on earth is that on the right? So here I will be taking notes on my walkthroughs to show you how I conduct note-taking while doing machines. That way you will learn my methodology and how I apply note-taking, and then so you have a rough idea how to do it as organized as possible. That way you make use of it for report writing, etc. So now that we know it's pingable, if that's even a word, let's conduct an Nmap scan and network map scan on the target. So we say nmap-c for default scripts, so we'll use all of Nmap's default scripts. SV for SV stands for services, so we'll enumerate all the services on the specified ports, specifying all ports on IP 10.10.3. Enter, and now you see Nmap will start the scan. Okay, it says host seems down. If it's really up looking up ping probes, try -pn. Okay, so we will do -pn. We'll do as it tells us. pn. Here we go. Yep, seems like it's working. Now, as you see, you can always press enter to see the current results you're in. Sometimes it may take long. So for this one, it'll take a while We want to get as much results as we can so we can study and analyze it for afterwards. So we will return to this video once it's done. And we're back. Nmap scan is finished, and we now have outputted the entire Nmap file into our directory that we store all the information we need. Always have your own structure when it comes to enumerating boxes and exploiting machines. You want to have it organized, that way you can find it easy. So after I finish my Nmap scan, I have it in a folder called Nmap. And when I list the directories, I did 2 different Nmap scans. I can cat these out. I already have done that for you. What I tend to do is I go into the CherryTree document I have here, where I organize and structure all of my note-taking as organized as possible so I can easily understand. I put it under enumeration, Nmap, and you have it on the right here. So this will be unnecessary. So on the right, as you see, I have the different, we will go through the ports that we have open. We have VSFTP, which is anonymous FTP login allowed. Obviously, when you see that, FTP anonymous should never be allowed. This can easily be put on a pen test report saying, why is this allowed? Especially if there's an external connection, or if it's, an external server you're working on, FTP anonymous, should not be allowed. If it's internal, okay, maybe, but then again, you still have to ask the question because it can be exploited and, accessed easily. We will look into this later. After that, we scroll down and we see SSH is open on here. So we can connect via SSH. Obviously, we have to have a username. We have to have a password. And then we have Samba, which is what we will be focusing on, or also known as SMDB or SMB. We have its version number. And we also have this thing right here. And so we look for it. So you might be wondering, why do I have it on CherryTree, right? I have it here so that I can give it some space. I make the ports bold. Sometimes, you look at this text, your eyes may be used to it, but you really want to, make it bold. Look at the things that look interesting to you, make it look bold and, to pop out. And I want to do that for you guys so you guys can see it clearly as well. The versions, I want to see what is in here that it could be interesting. And then I just give it spaces so that I can see it quicker and clearer. I put in CherryTree, that way I can have quick access to it without going back to my terminal and catting it out, or, looking at it through whichever edit you like, Vim, Gedit, or whatever. Gedit. Messed up on that one. And so we are going to look into Samba. Okay, so SMB, is going to be the first thing we're going to try and exploit. Obviously, Kali Linux, so I don't want to be in the Nmap folder. I want to be in the main folder. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but SMB client. Okay, so SMB client is a tool installed into Kali Linux. If you don't have it, Google it. You should be able to, if you're on another distribution, look for installation. Now we will enumerate SMB. So what is SMB? So in short, it stands for Service Message Block. SMB is a protocol is a network file sharing protocol and is implemented in Microsoft Windows. So it's also known as Microsoft SMB protocol. Okay. So to enumerate it and to, obviously we have the IP and we have SMB client installed. We will try and initiate connection. Obviously I've done this before, but what you would do is you would look in, you would do backslashes and the IP SMB client -L, capital L, to list the host, and to list the files in the host, and that way you will see what files are on the system. Okay, so to enumerate this, we will say SMB client. Okay, so let me just clear the screen for you first. SMB client -L, and then we say // 4 times, and then the IP, and then // we press enter. Okay, and then obviously my password, and then we now see the list of files. Okay, usually when you're here, what you want to do is you want to check the temp file for any interesting stuff. But as you see, we see a comment here by the developer of this machine. Oh knows, you know, as a joke. I don't know what this means. We see drivers. We see, you know, once again the Samba version we have, which we also revealed in the Nmap. Sometimes the Nmap might not be able to detect it, but you know, once you're in, you will see the exact version accurately because this is within the machine. Now we will Google an exploit for this. So we're going to look for an exploit so we can exploit this machine and get a shell. Okay, so we'll go to Google. I've already prepared it, as you see. So Samba SMB, the version, and an exploit. And then we have one from Rapid7. We open it and then we look at it. So as we see, Samba using Nmap script command execution. We scroll all the way down and then we see it's a module within Metasploit. So we're going to run Metasploit and we're going to follow the instructions we have as we have here, and then we're going to run the exploit and see what we get back. Okay, so to do that, we'll go back to our shell and we are going to run MSF console. Okay, sorry. So one thing I wanted to also do is, so obviously I viewed this information. So what I would do in my report or in my note taking is I would just, you know, copy all of this, or you can even screenshot it, but I prefer to copy it. Sometimes you may have to screenshot it if you're looking at a website or something. And that way, once I do this enum, and then I'll add a subnode beneath the enumeration, SMB client, and then I'll paste it here. That way, when I look at my enumeration notes, I go to Nmap or I go to SMB, I know I've enumerated SMB and I know what command I used. That way I can explain to the employer, or to, if you're taking the OSCP exam, you can explain it, etc. And once you're in, and then you can, you know, see all the information you have. Once again, I will highlight all that good stuff, you know. So continuing on the machine, we're gonna, you know, run MSF console. So let's do that right now. We're gonna wait for it to run. It takes a while. I think there's a method you can use where you can pre-run it every time the Kali Linux or your distribution starts, so it can run quicker. But I don't mind waiting like 5-10 seconds for MSF console or Metasploit to run. So we'll just wait for this. Okay, so we go back to the page and we see we have it here. We see it says it's a exploit and it's Samba user map script. So we're gonna copy this and then we're gonna paste it here. No payload. There we go. Perfect. So now that we have it, we look at the options. The options being, you know, the remote host and all that good stuff. So now we're going to set the R hosts to 10.10.3. Oops, I got that wrong. So run that. And now I'm going to set the L port, which is going to be my IP. I think it's 1449. Set, oops, sorry, L host. This happens sometimes. Make sure you always double check, but it doesn't matter. You learn by making mistakes. And then we will show targets just to be safe. Okay, it's automatic. So it should figure out itself, and then we will exploit, or you can also type in run, but we want to look cool, so we're going to type in exploit command shell session1 open, and if I'm not mistaken, just wait for a bit. Who am I am root. Okay, so we exploited the server, we are root, so we didn't have to exploit it and then privesc, so you know, it's fairly an easy machine. Now to get a better shell, you type in shell, and it will use Python, and then to create an interactive shell. That way you have a more realistic shell inside your session. You know, once you're in as root in any machine, whether it be a client one, whether it be a, you know, box that you're doing CTF on, you know, you wanna also, you can do more, you know, not on machines, but mainly with client machines that you're doing a pen test on. You know, you can look at password files, extract the hashes, try crack the hashes in the shadow file. That way you have password lists for the users and the accounts inside the machine. Use that against other services that you're pivoting from. It could be, you know, for any other reason. So, oh, and you just have to press enter sometimes just to double check. And we have an interactive shell. So we have a root shell, but we don't want to end it here. In my initial scan on this, we also have, remember, VSFTP. This is a rabbit hole, even though there was an exploit available for this version right here, VSFTPD. There's a Metasploit ready exploit for VSFTP 2.3.4. This was a rabbit hole. It did not work. The creator of this machine made that intentional, so it doesn't work. It's a rabbit hole. When you get stuck in rabbit holes, you do not want to stay there for too long. You want to straight away get out of that as quickly as possible and continue looking at the other services. FTP is always good. Sometimes you have anonymous sessions, you get in. They're good if you want to upload a file and then execute it, and obviously execute the file to gain a shell. FTP is only good to upload and download files. Sometimes there's important files inside the session or the server you're in. You download the file and you enumerate in your own system to see if there's anything useful. In this case, we couldn't get it. And that's about it for this video. I think I've covered it all. We executed this system using Samba and a Metasploit module. And also keep in mind, if you want to execute a file, if you upload a malware via FTP, you need a way to obviously execute it, and usually that's through HTTP. So if there's also HTTP and FTP, your mind should always go, boom, I could possibly, there's a chance that I can upload and execute at the same time, because obviously FTP can't execute files. It can upload, download, and do some other FTP work. So in conclusion, we learned how to enumerate and exploit several different services, including Samba, how to Nmap efficiently to get decent results, and we talked about some post-exploitation ideas. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It will help out a lot. I plan on continuing this journey towards the OSCP, and to provide you with my way of working and my form of hacking and doing these machines, so that we can learn. And then if you know something, you can help me. Hopefully I can teach you something. That's the main intention here. And overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, and you have a good day.